Hey everyone, Solomon AD here. So, I make it pretty well known the spirits I keep very close to me. One of them is Samael. I am very close with Samael for years. I have done many rituals, possession rites, pacts with this spirit, and I have a new pact with this spirit, with this angel, with this demon, with this devil, with this God. And I am writing a book, but like I'm trying to profess his truth because he can be a very angry spirit, and he's very angry at a lot of the things going on in the world, but also a lot of the people in the occult community, um, and the messages that are being portrayed. I don't want to seem like like I'm trying to shove messages down people's throat. I'm just trying to present his message out there, but just know the nature of Samael is very confrontational, so it may come off confrontationally. But I do not mean to be directly confrontational or sustainingly confrontational to any party. Um, but a part of this uh, is that he's causing all kinds of manifestations in my life at an alarming rate that I've never seen before. One of them was one of them was essentially a haunting that a spirit medium I know had gone through, and I basically had to give this person a piece of Samael's power to defeat this kind of like a sleep paralysis thing. Looked like an imp. This spirit medium was able to defeat the entity temporarily. Um, it was very strange because I had had a dream of the attack going on, had woken up at 4:30 in the morning to find that this person was under attack. They had messaged me they were under attack. And then I had given them the piece of Samael's energy. They had defeated the imp. And then we kind of had a debrief uh, later that day. During the debrief, it had become apparently known of this person's talents spiritually, involving premonitions of death. The entity that would soon arrive was Azrael, the angel of death, the archangel of Pluto. Pluto having a very special relationship with Mars, Mars being ruled by Samael. Samael is sometimes referred to as the angel of death. The way I see it is that Samael is the angel of death, but the angel of violent death. Talking about warfare, fighting, sudden death, such as that. Whereas Pluto is too those things, but Pluto is much more in a morbid sense. And I feel Azrael is the angel of pure death, like morbid death. Samael is the bludgeoning death. But so they work very closely together. So Azrael made it very clear that he is essentially, in one way, shape, or form, even at a distance, been looking over this person's life, and wanted to make this person powerful. Wanted to make me powerful too, and had given us instructions to essentially summon him in a cemetery to provide like extra spiritual power to the next level and awaken this person's full spiritual potential. Then Samael and Azrael wanted us to do a ritual on the entire planet to attack COVID-19. So this was on the agenda, and it was a very awesome night. Azrael's energy was permeating for hours. It was almost like the results of a big group evocation, and it was just he arrived. It was an amazing experience. I love Azrael. Immensely powerful. Doesn't get his due. Unfortunately, we will not be pursuing the work together, me and this individual. Essentially, all of this is a little too much, and they need to take a step back from it. While it is kind of a shame, I understand. I was the same way for several years. in periods of my life. Wish it wasn't the case, but that is what's dealing with now. So Azrael is going into my work that I'm writing down with Samael. Yeah, it's great. I recommend him. Not for anyone. Like really, Azrael's not an entity for just anyone. Samael's not an entity for just anyone. There is an element of destiny with those two because they can be dangerous. Azrael is much more compassionate. He's got a soft spot. He has empathy. He just has a different outlook on death. Samael is very brutal. But the reason why Azrael may not be for everyone is because you know those people that are kind of like on the edge of the classrooms that are not for everyone. It's kind of like that. But also, death energy, period, is not something that everyone wants to be around all the time, even spiritually speaking, because it can be very corrosive. For the longest time, I was very, I don't want to say allergic to it, but something of the sort. Beings like Azrael and Sizen are much more conducive to me. Like, they have eased me into death currents better. One time with Euronymous, but it wasn't anything that stuck. I think Azrael's going to stick. Sizen is definitely stuck. So, yeah, it was a very interesting story, very intense 24 hours. And Azrael is awesome. May that serve you well.